Good morning, Todd. How have you been?
Doing fine, thank you. Weather's warming up. It's beginning to feel like springtime, summertime in Florida. I guess you're probably enjoying the weather as well.
Well, I love the nice, cool, crisp mornings, and I'm afraid we're going to lose them soon.
Yeah, not much longer on that one. That's for sure. Well, no matter what, we always have it better than somebody else. I think you could agree with that.
We sure do.
Take, for example, this email I'm looking at here that has a question for you. So if you're ready, we'll get into today's Ask the Lawyer segment and see what you think.
I am ready, Todd.
All right, Bruce, it says, I was hit from behind by a tourist in a rental car and had to go to the hospital with multiple injuries. The police came and ticketed the other driver. They gave me all his information, but it turns out he doesn't have insurance and declined coverage from the rental company. The rental car company is saying they have no responsibility and are protected by law against being sued for what a renter does. Is this true? Is there anything I can do? My hospital bills are enormous and I will need surgery. It's into rental car territory. We need an expert on this one. So what do you think?
It's a horrible, horrible situation. Back in 2005, 13 years ago now, Congress tacked on an amendment to the Transportation Equity Act of 2005, and it's known as the Graves Amendment. And the Graves Amendment is a federal statute that abolishes vicarious liability of companies that rent or lease motor vehicles based on the negligent driving of their customers.
Okay.
And that's horrible because before that, and any other owner of a car is responsible for the acts of the driver. So before that, if the driver didn't have insurance, the rent-a-car companies had to pay.
Sure.
With that act, they're not responsible. And if our caller did not have uninsured motorist coverage, they're really in trouble. Of course, they could get their medical bills paid. Hopefully they had health insurance, but if they didn't have health insurance and they didn't have uninsured motorist coverage, they're really in deep doo-doo.
Well, we were debating behind the scenes on this today, and we found it remarkable that a person could rent a car without insurance. Every time I've rented a car, perhaps you've rented a car, they ask you for your insurance information. So we didn't realize you could even do that.
Well, there's nothing against the law that prohibits a person without insurance from renting a car.
That's scary. That is just downright frightening. That shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way, and there should be a law against it, but unfortunately there's not.
If the driver had his own insurance on his own vehicle back wherever he lived, would that have been an avenue that you could have pursued?
Absolutely, and that's what happens most of the time is that a person who rents a car has his own car and his own insurance, and we could pursue that, and that would cover it.
Boy, that's awful. I certainly hope that there's the ability to get the medical stuff taken care of through their own insurance. Like you say, if they work and they have insurance through their place of business, then that would be something to pursue. But otherwise, they're really in trouble here, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Well, once again, it speaks to something, and I hate to tack a moral to the story onto somebody's pain, but it really does speak to the need to make sure that you are carrying uninsured motorist coverage.
That's so important that I just can't emphasize enough, and we talk about it every week.
And this is a good example as to why we talk about it.
You really need uninsured motorist coverage in the limits as high as you possibly could afford.
Right. That's where you want to max out the coverage. So, all right, well, good. Let's hope that there's something to be said here and they can get a hold of a professional and find out some more information about their own insurance situation. Bruce, thank you so much for weighing in and making this clear. We never knew some of these things about renting a rental car. Now we do. And now we're a little scared, quite frankly.
I just hope it's impetus for more people to go out and call their insurance agents and say, listen, I need uninsured motorist coverage in the stacking form on my policy.
In the stacking form. We got to remember that. That's important, too. All right, Bruce.
Very important.
Thank you so much. And on behalf of whoever we received this from, thank you. And we'll look forward to talking to you again next week.
Yes, Todd, I'm looking forward to it as always.